The Commission is here to listen, as well as to share its knowledge and experiences. We'll hear from each Commissioner on what they've heard from people in Geelong. They've been out and about today. We'll also hear from some of the Geelong community on their climate change concerns.
You have many industries down here that are trade exposed, that are carbon intensive. You're also in an area that's being affected by climate change. So it's important that we as an Australian, as a nation, get the response to climate change right, particularly for places like Geelong. But can I say that, just to reinforce the point, that the Commission's work really is to build the strength in our community to see enduring change, enduring and sensible reform that'll get us to where we need to be over time. Unless we have the community support and the community understanding of these issues, we're not going to get the political reform that we require.
I think one of the problems the public has is grappling with the science. The communication of the science is not clear.
Isn't it true that the world is suffering a lot from deforestation? And hasn't that contributed a lot to the greenhouse gases in the world? And what is Australia doing to help counteract that?
Tim, could you please tell us that were a carbon tax or an emission trading scheme adopted globally today, by how much and by when would the Earth's temperature be reduced?
What we're seeing now is, just as sometimes nature puts more greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, the Earth warms. If humans do the same thing, it's a no-brainer. The Earth will warm, and that's exactly what we see. We're sitting at about 0.8 of a degree Celsius above the pre-industrial level now. That's a global average. There is a lot of momentum in the system, mainly stored in the ocean. If we could cut emissions to zero tomorrow, which we can't, and let the climate slowly come to equilibrium, we'll get about another 0.4 of a degree. So we're sitting at about 1.2 guaranteed. We think, as we said earlier, that anything above 2 degrees will put us in some reasonably dangerous territory, and some scientists argue that 1.5 is a better number. This puts a real sense of urgency on getting these emissions down. If we don't, if we can continue on the trajectory we're on now, a good bet is somewhere around 4 degrees late this century, with a range of a best case of maybe 2.5 and a worst case of around 6 above pre-industrial.
Businesses take risks, but the risk out there that many would see at the moment is a high degree of uncertainty as to what's going to happen in terms of regulation. And the other thing, of course, that's necessary to drive us towards a lower carbon economy is to put a price on carbon, so that the investments in the lower carbon environment become easier to justify.
Thank you very much.